Hi,
Good morning. How are you?
we're live. Let me bring Bridge here. She's already with me on YouTube.
We're live.
Yay.
Let me bring Bridge here. She's already
Uh,
with me on YouTube. Yeah.
Hi. So we're on. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Bridge, the request. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Bridge.
Yeah. Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are you?
Good.
Good.
It's too early, but we're here.
At least it's going to be warm this week in Boston. That's all we can ask for.
I am so excited. I saw that. It's gonna be. Hold on, I can hear myself. Do you have headphones?
Is that better?
Good. Yeah. Yes. Much better. Yeah. So I'm very excited to have you here. Oh my gosh, it's been a year. I can't believe it. So
I know. I think it's almost a year to the day.
it's been almost a year to the day. Yeah. So I love that we have people on YouTube. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and we're live on Instagram. This is so cool. So make sure you send the link for the Telegram. Yay. The link on the Telegram too. Okay, awesome. So, Bridge, I just want to ask you to like to tell a little bit of your story. We started this journey. No, you started the journey a while ago, but we've been together for a year now. And I just want to hear how you're feeling right now. How you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started really taking fitness seriously in college, and I fell into a lot of the traps of diet culture and, what random people online tell you to do, what people say will work, restricting food groups. And although I thought that I was making progress, my apologies, I really didn't see any difference until I really started getting in tune with my body, really getting enough sleep. And that all tended to happen right when I finished grad school. So as you can imagine, the amount of stress that came with that and working and studying and staying up till all hours of the night, probably ordering takeout a few more times than I should have. But I would wake up at 6 in the morning, do 2 hours walking on the treadmill, and then do lift and then fasted workouts. And I was so exhausted all the time. And I just thought, this is how it's supposed to feel, right?
Ha-
Everyone says fast till noon. Everyone says do this.
yeah.
And I became the epitome of what people say. Don't listen to what, random people say online. So the more that I was able to start educating myself and just getting in tune with my body, it took a couple of months before I started my first full-time job after college. And good enough for me, from July to September, I was just home. So those summer months, I was really just working out, making sure that I was eating good foods. And then um, come the March of that following year, I found you. So I started working with you,
Wait,
started learning how to eat, and
let me ask you
such
something.
a difference.
Let me ask you something. How often you mentioned that you were like going to the treadmill for 2 hours. How often you were doing this?
Whatever mornings I didn't have to work early. So sometimes 3, 4 times a week, or just, before class, before work started. The gym was open at 6. So long as I could get in there and shower before work, I was trying to get in there as often as I could. Sometimes the snow veered me from walking down to the gym, but other than that, it was just tedious and it was completely unnecessary. Less is definitely more. The more that I think about it and the more that I say, wow, that sleep probably would have helped a lot more than trying to, prove that this unattainable fitness goal that I had in mind is not attainable with what I was doing to try to keep that. But after I kind of heard about you through my sister, who also is one of your clients, I shot you a message and, you selected me as a winner for one of your giveaways that you were doing. And that
A
was,
year ago.
that was a year ago. So right before all of the world started shutting down, I connected with you and we started really hitting the ground working. And although I've been working remote for the majority of the past calendar year,
How
I've
has been working remotely and trying to still do the, trying to still keep your workout to your steps
Mhm.
in?
I actually think that it's a lot easier to just work out as soon as you're done with work. I've made a schedule out of it. So
Mhm.
at least for me personally working with you, I have 5 different lifts a week. So I try to do those on the days that they're assigned.
Let me say something. Bridge is in a different level already. We've been together for a year. She's doing 5 heavy lifting, but she definitely have the 2 days of rest and any
Yeah.
other day that she needs, right?
Mhm.
Any other day that she needs.
Sometimes I don't do the 5 days consecutively either. It's totally just flexible to what's needed at the time. That's why I said just for me. I don't want anyone to get scared about the overload on that for sure.
Yeah.
But this is also coming from me enjoying weightlifting prior to, then learning the proper form while working with Isadora, and then, slowly building up and learning how to properly use the correct amount of weight to do the executed exercise. So I've just started a schedule with myself that, if I'm off work at 4:30, by 5 o'clock, I need to have, my water bottle, my mat has to be out, and I have to, have my headphones on ready to go. And I usually am able to kind of just keep that on a schedule. For me, at least I think it's a little easier. I have the weights that I need at home. I have some resistance band, a place to stretch, a place to, do some cardio on the bike if I need to. I have a stationary bike at home. But I think it's easier without the commute to and from work just to even if that's anywhere from some people having 20-minute commutes to an hour commute each way, sometimes for people going to work, I'm able to start my workout. Or if I look at it and it's something I can do during lunch too, I get a half-hour break for work. So sometimes I do my workouts during lunchtime as well, and then go for a walk on days like today that it's nicer out.
I see. I see. Wow. This is amazing. Let me ask you something. We got a question here saying how long to lose weight in a short time. See, I love those questions because then I'm gonna ask you to explain again what do you mean by short time, right? Because what I want to make sure everybody understands is it's not about the short time. I mean, we can have great, great, great results in what the first 90 days. It's when we're going to see the most results. But I want you to start thinking long term. I want you to start thinking like, hey, it needs to be something that is sustainable. Because Bridge, think about it. Bridge, it's a living proof of this. Like, how long would you think you could keep up with the 2 hour or the crazy fasting workout?
I was definitely very fatigued, and it was, I just thought it was stress, but it was definitely what I was making my body stress about. So if I had been taking more time to sleep instead of, 2 hours on the treadmill is going to, 600 calories a day times this much is this many. It's not how it works. And I think that there's a lot wrong with what we see on the internet. Join my program, dropped 20 pounds in 4 weeks. That's not healthy, to say the least, or sustainable in any way. I find that even if I have weeks that I'm like, oh, I had so many cheat wheels, the scale doesn't really move. It's once your body is in a good state and you're still maintaining, I'm eating way more calories now than I was before. And I'm finding that not only am I actually full after eating breakfast, like I went from eating just egg whites and turkey bacon, or just egg whites, no cheese, like salt and pepper, and that's it. And now I'm having like huge breakfast bowls, wheat toast and all of the sides, all the sweet potatoes. I'm eating rice, I'm eating pasta. I eat pasta like 2 times a week, and I'm still lifting heavier, running faster, hitting my goals, and losing weight. And to preface, I had lost 30 pounds prior to meeting Isadora, and I was kind of at a plateau. I wasn't really like, oh, I have X amount of weight left that I want to burn. I just didn't know how to tone. I didn't know how to eat properly. And I was like, I see all these people like eating, huge bowls of oatmeal every day and eating all these foods, but how do you do that while still reaching your goals? And the answer is to just set that path and, make it muscle memory so that your body knows, okay, I know I'm eating this many times a day, so I don't have to overload on food now, or I'm allowed to eat whenever I feel hungry. That's something that, like, as silly as it might sound to say, that's something that I had to teach my body, that if you wake up and, you're hungry at 7 o'clock and you're planning on eating at night, like eat something, your body's telling you it needs that fuel. And just in terms of the losing weight quickly, I also just want whomever asked the question, just think to yourself, do you really only need to lose weight for an event? And if it is, then what does that say about, the overall health goal versus an aesthetic goal? Because those are two completely different things. And, although I think that even when people hit goals or hit the numbers that they think that they wanted to, it's not only a matter of, oh, like I hit, 125 pounds. That's what I wanted to do. And, you get there, but you don't look how you wanted to, because there's a difference between just dropping fat, and there's a difference between building muscle, and a difference between toning. So what you really need to stop and think about is, what type of aesthetic do I want to go for? What type of health goals do I need to reach? What can I benefit my health from by changing just my diet and daily exercise? How can I make my movement improve my health in the long run? I feel like even if I missed a week of workouts, I know how to eat to counteract anything that could go wrong if I don't have a perfect week of eating, or if I don't have a perfect week of working out. And that's what being sustainable and really setting those constant goals with your body is.
Guys, I love when I hear Bridget saying, because one, she learns so much. She learned so much from not just this. She fell in love with her journey, and she became a health coach. She became a nutrition coach. How cool is that? So she completely fell in love. She completely fell in love with her journey, and she became a nutrition coach, which is amazing. So now let me ask you something. I have another question here. The both of you. Lily's helping me. Thank you. Yeah. So another question. Somebody asked, hi, how to gain weight, fat and muscles, in case if you're being underweight. So the idea is, so it's, when we think about weight loss, I want you guys to think about it's simple but not easy. Okay, it's simple in theory, but it's harder to do it, right? But I want you to think about this. In order to burn fat, in order to lose the weight, we have to be in calorie deficit. What that means is you're going to have to burn more than you spend, okay, that you eat. And then in order to gain the weight, it's the opposite. Okay, so so right now, we're working on Bridget to build some muscle. So what she's doing is she's going to be slightly above to, instead of being calorie deficit, she's going to be slightly above when she gets to the point that she needs to start burning up, building the weight. It's too early for me. I need my coffee. Hi, Nerman. So is that help? Does that really help? Because that's the idea. The idea is but it's not just eat anything, right, Bridge? So it's knowing exactly what to eat. It's a calorie, like we talk about this. It's calorie. It's not a calorie. So what I mean by it, there's nutrient dense food and there's calorie dense food, right? So the idea is give your body the nutrients that you need. And the empty calories, the calories that are actually not going to bring us like the nutrients that we need, we leave for 20%. And I love that Bridget mentioned something about, she was saying that you're like, oh, I actually enjoy my food now. I eat my food now. So I was, look how amazing. I was doing a class yesterday. I was writing down a class. I was exactly talking about this. So why a lot of people, and now you're a nutrition coach, you can talk about this. And it's like, why do you think people give up? Do you agree that people give up most likely because they don't like the food that they're eating?
I think that a lot of people give up because their conception of eating healthy is eating less. And I think that if you restrict your body and are eating pigeon-sized meals, and at the end of the day, if you're using any sort of a app or a calculator to track what you're eating, and you say, oh, I ate 1,000 calories today, that's awesome. Your body is reacting to being in a constant state of hunger. So it doesn't know any better than to say, or for you to think, oh, it must be working. Eating less equals weight loss. That's not, being in a calorie deficit does not mean eating less. I've actually found, oh, go ahead.
No, I said exactly. So eating less, not starving.
Yes.
So calorie deficit doesn't mean huge deficit. Small calorie deficit.
Exactly. And that's something that I think is commonly unheard of, but it's funny to me because sometimes I'll make my breakfast, and if it's a day that I don't track my macros every single day, only if I just want to do a spot check for that's just where my comfort level is now. Everyone's definitely entitled to track as they would please to. But personally, for me, especially a couple of weeks into working with Isadora, just to have a preface, I started not tracking what I was eating every day because it became obsessive. And that's something that you don't want either. If you're going to be concerned with saying, oh, I had, a fun-sized chocolate bar and that made me go over my calories, or, Isadora, I ate perfectly today, but I'm over by 100 calories. That's not going to change anything. And the numbers that people are like, I have to eat exactly this many calories every day to stay in my deficit. Your body doesn't burn the same amount every day. And it's just, that's a best estimate of what we can do. If your body's hungry, please just remember to eat. But one thing that I do just think is funny is I'll make these huge breakfast bowls. And if anyone's interested to see just like examples of what I do, I've made a couple reels on my page already. I am just getting started on this platform, but I plan to do more of that in the future. But I'll calculate what one of those bowls is. And if you think about it, most vegetables are under 10 calories a serving, especially for what you would chop up and put with some eggs. Minimal cheese, a slice of toast, that's less calories than like a protein bar would have been if I just grabbed that and went out the door. Of course, we don't have time. Right. And of course, every day we don't have time to cook, but I've meal prepped eggs before and they taste just as good when you heat them up. I know that a lot of people are super against that and want a nice fresh meal in the morning, but it's worth the extra 10 minutes to wake up early and make that. So I try to always just prioritize, or, find a time the night before just to get everything ready, and just keep a lot of different toppings around so that you don't get sick and tired of what you're eating all the time. So I don't use the same toppings in my eggs more than like 3 days in a row, or else then I'm like, oh, eggs have a weird texture, I don't want to eat them. So just trying to find new ways that you can eat and fuel. I now have an entire plate of food and I can't even finish it sometimes. And that's less calories than a granola bar with an apple or something would have been otherwise, and better for you.
Absolutely. And I love that you mentioned that sometimes I cannot even finish. That's such a common mistake that people do, is overeat. It doesn't matter if it's healthy, if it's vegan, if it's organic, if you still overeat, right? And another thing here, I love that there's a comment from everyone saying, hey, I'm eating when I'm sad without limit. That's my problem. So this emotional eating is such an important thing to be aware of. Few things, there are few tools that can help you, but I think the main thing the main thing, and it's part of my heart because I've been there. This is the start of my life. I've been there. Is I used that analogy before. It's like, imagine you're trying to turn off the light, but sweeping the floor. You're gonna keep sweeping the floor, sweeping the floor. There's no way the light's gonna turn off because you actually physically need to go to the light and turn off the light. So you would need to go and talk about your problem. See what's exactly bothering you. Only this way, when you go to the root of the problem, only this way, you're gonna be able to actually fix that. And if you notice that you're eating, the first thing to do is change the focus, right? If you're like, okay, every time I watch, I love watching the only TV show in the world that I watch, Grey's Anatomy. I love watching Grey's Anatomy, but I'm always crying watching Grey's Anatomy. But if I know that I'm gonna cry, and if I know that I'm watching Grey's Anatomy, the first thing I need to do is put like anything that I have, sweets or anything in the house away. Because if not, we want that comfort food. So again, find the source of the problem. Face the source of the problem. You can't just keep sweeping the floor. That light's not gonna turn it off, right? Not gonna turn it off. So Bridge, tell people how do they find you. Add to the comment your Instagram right there. Just to make sure everybody got to know you a little bit. And Bridge is inside of the group, which is amazing. So she's starting giving support to everybody that needs, which is amazing. Yeah. Hey, I'm so happy to see what you have accomplished. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you. And I keep looking back. I can't believe it's been a year. I keep looking back at the text. Like the stress. And now you're like, I heard you saying a few weeks ago, it was really cute. It was you like, I'm going to eat the ice cream. I'm going to eat the ice cream. But it's all about the balance. All about finding the balance, the 80-20 balance. So, and one little thing about 80-20 is make sure when you're eating the 80-20, the 80% of your health, your food, of your one ingredient food is that it's delicious. Because if it's delicious, when you go to the 20, when you eat your pizza or your ice cream, and you come back to the 80, it's going to be such a easier, smoother transition. So much easier. But if you're just eating steamed broccoli and hard chicken, it's going to be so much harder to stick to that. Oh, I'm so...
Meal prep doesn't have to be boring.
That is very true. That is very, very true. Bridge, I know it's early. I know you have to start your day. I'm so excited you came here with me. Today's the first day that we're going to start this warm up for next week. I'm going to start doing today at noon. I'm going to start doing a workshop. So in breaking down, I'm going to do a leg workout. So if at lunchtime you're free, if not, I'll make sure I keep everything safe for you. But we're going to do a noon Boston time, Eastern time. Then just do I believe it would be 7 for you. I believe we're 7-hour difference from Egypt. But I just want to make sure you get moving. And look, Bridge was able to achieve amazing things. But one thing she did, she didn't quit. And she enjoyed the process. Right?
Mm-hmm. Just because a day gets hard doesn't mean that it's not still worth it. It doesn't mean that you're not still worth it. So if you remember why you started and you have a goal more than, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds for this event, it'll make a huge difference in your mindset, and your motivation will just come naturally to you. starting's the hardest part. So I believe in all of you, and I'm definitely excited to get to know some of you if you want to come and join me over on my page. So thank you so much, Isadora. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And I'll see you later and go work out today.
Definitely. Thank you. Everyone else,
Bye.
enjoy the rest of the week. It's going to be so much fun. Isadora's doing so many different events. So thank you so much for running this for everyone.
Yay. Bye.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, guys. If you have any questions, do me a favor, send DMs. The link is on my bio for the Results Acceleration Week. We're gonna start next Monday, but this week we're gonna have like a warm up, fun stuff.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you so much for being here, guys. You're very welcome. Bye.